All right, Shalom. I'm going to start by saying, call Allah, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, BAHASHAM, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles of Israel, aka the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and love to all the Akim. Continue to preach the truth and all true sincerity. All right, real quick, early morning, but I have a late start today with picking cotton. So, as I was laying around waiting to have to start this fucking another day of captivity. But anyway, I was reading this article, and it's from the Wall Street Journal. Now I'm gonna read the article. It's a little lengthy, but I'm gonna try to read all the good parts, and Lord willing, be edifying. And I have a couple of scriptures as well. Well, a scripture or two. And this is from the Wall Street Journal, and it reads: Small hat hummus war enters deadlier phase with more close combat. Now you know who the small hat is. That's Amalek. And hummus people, that's Ishmael, the people that's in the ship over there in Gaza that's going to war right now. Okay, because you got to say certain words because they get all anal on YouTube and in the internet. So, Wall Street Journal, so credible source. So it reads, it says, the small hat military and Palestinian officials are reporting heavy losses and intense fighting in the Gaza Strip as small hats faces pressure to quickly achieve its goal of eliminating hummus. So that's the goal. Now, I don't know how they're going to determine that the goal is accomplished or whatever, but let's go for what's going right now. Because the premise of this article is the fact that now the Amalek has gone on the ground. And as of right now, they're saying that the ground game for the small hats is not really working out for them as much as what they were doing before, which is the airstrikes and the bombs. Okay, because now you remember them crazy ass Arabs, they bought that war shit. Remember, it said Ishmael's wild, and it said, and the article says it, and it says it enters a deadly phase with more close combat because Amalek ain't no warrior. You know what I'm saying? Amalek was never known. That's how you know they're not the chosen, but that crop of people were never. And now it's been evident. It's showing that, and the article's gonna get into it. So, oh no, you didn't. It's not allowing me to read. Oh, you bastards. So, okay. Okay, so that was the Wall Street Journal, but on my phone, it let me read it, but on my tablet, it's saying I gotta be subscribed. So I went to another platform called The Australian with the same exact news title. Now I know it's real shit because I know the Wall Street Journal reported on it, but damn, they awesome. Damn, all these news. Hold up. Then they all using the same term, deadliest, deadliest phase, deadliest. Look, you got this Australian platform. It says Israel-Hamas war enters deadlier phase with more close combat. You got this joint called Arab News PK. It says Lebanon's Hezbollah faces moment of reckoning as Israel-Hamas war in Gaza enters its deadly phase. The Small Hat Chronicle. It says 10 IDF soldiers killed in Gaza as war enters deadliest phase. They're all saying the same phrase, deadliest phase. We got one more. It says Al Jazeera says Small Hat Hamas war live. Israeli night attacks target Rafah. Oh, they don't say it. So I'm gonna go to Al Jazeera now. They're pretty credible, and this was actually posted an hour ago because Salaki. I wanted to bring out that Wall Street Journal article because they brought out a lot of good points. So now I have to go elsewhere. So we're gonna go to Al Jazeera. The fuck? I guess I gotta go to this Arab news. Okay, so there's this thing called Arab news. It says Lebanon's Hezbollah faces moment of reckoning as Israel-Hamas war in Gaza enters its deadliest phase. It's from Arab news. Same issue. So it says, since fighting between Israel and Palestinian militant group Hamas erupted on October 7th, Washington and its European allies have sought to contain the conflict and prevent it from spilling over into the wider region, which pretty much already has. It says, as soon as Israel mounted its military assault on Gaza Strip, from where Hamas launched an unprecedented attack on southern Israel, Lebanon's Hezbollah kicked off its own campaign of cross-border strikes. This frustrated the efforts of UN peacekeepers stationed along the blue line separating Israel and Lebanon and to dial down tensions. But what these people don't understand is the Lord is mustering the battle. You cannot disannul what the Lord has going on. Remember, what did the Lord say? Who can stay his hand? So if the Lord said he's working on the minds of the king, obviously he's working real heavy on Benjamin Netanyahu's mind. And the people in Palestine, because they're fighting too. It's not like they're actually fighting, but it's just that Hamas is not a country; it's a group, and they're in Palestine or Gaza. Okay, and that's why they keep saying, "Oh well, we're looking for the terrorists that could be in the midst of the civilians in these safe points," because they're saying that the actual militant people of Hamas are hiding amongst civilians. So that's what they're justifying by bombing these certain places. So continuing on, it says, as soon as Israel mounts, as a vastly more powerful force than Hamas, with access to sophisticated drone and missile technology supplied by Iran, any full-scale conflict involving Hezbollah will likely be many times more destructive for Israel. Now that's what we got to look for. See, yeah, what they doing to Gaza, Hamas, yeah, that's cool. But you got to understand, these are proxy wars. These are wars within wars, little skirmishes. But you really have to focus on Israel and Iran and America and Russia and so on and China and all of that. But you really Iran, because Israel really wants to go into Iran and attack Iran. That's what they really want to do. Okay, they've been openly vocal about that. So I'm gonna read that again though, because you gotta remember, who is Iran backed by? Iran is backed by the BRICS nations, Russia, China. That's all you need to say. But it's other countries along with it. You remember, you still have Russia and the whole Putin trying to get that whole Soviet Union back thing going. You still got China trying to get control of the Asia. You got all these things, all these moves, all these power moves being made by these heathens. But ultimately, it's Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi gathering these heathens up so he could judge them all. That they all gonna get judged. Putin, Xi Jinping, Biden, Trump, Netanyahu, Obama, all of them. Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi is gonna judge all you heathens, man. And 2/3 of our people that thought these heathens was gonna do something for us, and that went along with their way, what they was doing, and agreeing with them and making allegiance with them. So it says, as vastly more powerful force than Hamas, with access to sophisticated drone and missile technology supplied by Iran. That's what America's focusing on them. In that region, more of Iran, Hezbollah, and Syria. They're not really, like, America's not really getting into this whole thing with Israel, because that's the bullshit. Whatever they showing a lot of, that's the bullshit they want you to see. So that's more sort of distraction. And that does have the whole world distracted right now. Because now everybody's looking at Israel, but you really should be looking at Hezbollah, Iran, and America and Israel. because that's their true target. Because Iran has that uranium. It's the whole thing with their nuclear capabilities and their nuclear program. They wanna stop it. So it says supplied by Iran, all their missiles, technology, and drones. So it says any full-scale conflict involving Hezbollah will likely be many times more destructive for Israel. So that's giving the clear warning. And you gotta remember, Hezbollah was one of the people that was vocal about this strongly first, asking for for the ceasefire, and actually the first one. Then they actually got involved. And you gotta remember that Iran said they're not gonna get, as of right now, Iran said they're not gonna get involved. But they're involved. Why? Because they're supplying Hezbollah. And Hezbollah is involved fighting with Israel for Hamas and all that. But anyway, reading on, it says the Israeli Defense Forces have responded to Hezbollah's attacks with air, drone, and artillery strikes on southern Lebanon, leaving 120 people, most likely the latter's fighters, dead. In turn, Israel has suffered 10 casualties, including six soldiers. And it's always saying that Israel is losing a little bit of soldiers, man. And you got and that goes in part what I wanted to bring out as far as scripture wise, because remember, this is Amalek. This is Amalek fighting. What did the Lord say about Amalek? He shall have war forever with Amalek. So that's why I put in the title that they think they're going against Gaza, but it's really Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi against them. I'm talking about Amalek, these small hats. Remember, the Lord has a issue with you. He says he's getting with you personally. He said Amalek by name. He didn't mention Ishmael. When he mentions the heathen getting judged and being put into captivity under Israel. But we talk about as far as these last day judgments, as far as heathens goes in the actual nation. He said Amalek and he said Edom. Now all these other nations, they're going to get judged in that war and all that. But we talk about even after the war, the judgment for Esau, Edom, and Amalek. That's what you got coming for you. Okay? And Ishmael's getting judged too, because Ishmael's who? You're the son of the handmaid. So you also not part of the chosen. So you also getting judged because you also had a part in Israel's downfall. Especially alongside with Esau, Edom on this side. Quote unquote, the American Esau's. So it says, Reno says, although the exchanges, and it's a lot, this is not the article I wanted to bring out, but I had to. So it says, so this is the first time I'm reading this. So it says, although the exchanges are the worst since the 30-day war of 2006, both sides have avoided direct clashes and incursions that could result in a serious escalation. So as far as man goes, everybody's still kind of timid about how they go about this. But the Lord said, what? He mustered the battle. So obviously the Lord doesn't want them to go at it a certain way right now. As far as he don't want America, Iran, and Russia involved in what's going on with these small hats and hummus people. Because right now, no other superpower is really involved except Israel. But here's the thing that people don't understand about war. You're still using your resources, Amalek, with just Hamas. So what's going to happen as your resources start to wear thin? Who's going to help you? Because remember, America wants you to stop too. In an article in the Wall Street Journal, it said that Netanyahu said that no one tells us how to do our business, basically. But here it is, you ask, but the people that you're saying that to are the people that's giving you assistance for the business that they telling you to stop. So that also goes in part with Satan's house being divided. Because if Israel wants to keep going, America is saying stop, so they say. That means y'all divided. And now you're divided during war, which is the time to be not divided. So now you see where this is going to go. That's why this is all about to blow up in Esau's face. This is all about to blow up in his face. Watch. It says there is little appetite among lawmakers in Lebanon's caretaker government and the wider population for a war with Israel, especially as the country grapples with its worst economic crisis in living memory. Believe me when I tell you our hearts bleed with Gaza, but we cannot withstand another war on our own soil. Ali Abdullah, a 37-year-old Lebanese citizen who is jobless, told Arab News. That he's my age. I'm 37. But what you don't understand, Ishmael, is that you still are a heathen too, and now you're getting judged. And also, Amalek is he's gonna join y'all too, because when Yahawashi gets back, that's when you're gonna put all you nations into captivity. And then you really understand who the fuck you are. And then you're gonna understand who the fuck we are in the here game of life on the earth. It says, necessities have become luxuries to many of us. To drag Lebanon in its current state into another war would be causeless. How can we answer a call to arms on empty stomachs? Hezbollah's hesitation to plunge into a full-blown war is also partly a result of sustained Western military and diplomatic pressure. Since October, the U.S. has stationed 2 strike carrier groups and a nuclear submarine in the eastern Mediterranean and the Gulf to deter escalation by Hezbollah and other groups sympathetic to Hamas. So basically, they already know what time it is. And that's what is the Lord doing? He's gathering the men of war, prepare them to come up. Let them draw near. Because they're in the same situation as America. America shouldn't be in no war right now. If you want to talk about the economy. But what did Tupac say? He said they got money for war but can't feed the poor. Because remember, this is the Most High show. The Lord don't give a fuck about your economic situation. Just like he don't give a fuck about America's. He's still going to destroy it. And he's still going to destroy you. Man, damn, this article's, I ain't reading this shit. But the article I wanted to bring out, remember, it says the Israel-Hamas war has reached a deadlier phase. I wanted to bring out the Wall Street Journal article, but it made me have to subscribe, and I wasn't trying to do that. It said I had to subscribe to open up the article, but it wasn't like that on my phone. So whatever they're that. So now we're going to get into some scriptures, because now we have some scriptures that's playing out in the Old Testament, because, people like to say, oh, that's the Old Testament, oh, that's the Old Testament. But yeah, you got a lot of things in the Old Testament that's playing out now. Even as far as what Amalek is doing, that's part of Esau's blessing, because Amalek is who? That's Esau. And if Amalek is in rulership, Esau's in rulership, that means we're playing out still part of Genesis. The part of Esau's kingdom, when Esau's ruling over Jacob. But remember, what did the Lord say? He said that Jacob is the beginning of the world that followeth. This is the end of the world as heathen ruling. And Esau was the last tail end. He was the last heathen to rule. And that's where we're at before who? Yahawashi returns and gives and takes rulership of the earth and joint heirs with his elect. That's as each day goes on, we're getting closer to that time. More and more. Remember, the Lord said the day of the Lord is nigh. It is nigh. It draweth quickly. Though it's tarry, wait for it. And it's been tarrying for years. You had men that have been prophesying for years. But now the things are speeding up, because now more and more elect are being woken up. More and more Yahawashi's sheep are hearing his voice by the prophets, by this here internet, whether on the highways and byways. This truth is going out. The Lord's name. Remember the Lord said? The Lord said what? To those that thought upon his name. In the book of Zechariah, I believe between the 12th or 14th chapter, one out of those 3 chapters, it said that the ones that thought upon his name. But go to Numbers. We go to Numbers chapter 24. I'm going to start at verse 1. So this is the book of Numbers, chapter 24, verse 1, and I'm going to jump down. But when you start at Numbers 24:1, it says, Israel favored and blessed by Yahawah. Now, of course, that's not those small hats in Israel now. Let's talk about the real ones. But it says that. So reading on, it says, and when Balaam saw that it pleased the Lord to bless Israel, but he went not. He went not, as at other times, to seek for enchantments, but he set his face toward the wilderness. And Balaam lifted up this verse 2, and says, and Balaam lifted up his eyes, and he saw Israel abiding in his tents, according to their tribes, and the spirit of Yahawah came upon him. And it says now Balaam's parable, 3rd prophecy. He said, and he took up his parable and said, Balaam the son of Beor hath said, and the man whose eyes are open have said. Verse 4, he hath said, which heard the words of Yahawah, which saw the vision of the Almighty, falling into a trance, but having his eyes open. So he's falling into a trance, having his eyes open. So I guess sleeping with your eyes open, I guess you would say. It says, how goodly are thy tents, O Jacob, and thy tabernacles, O Israel. That's us, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and the people that come from the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's the nation of Israel. That's who Jacob is. So if you don't come from those people, you are not an Israelite. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I don't care what you look like. You can look as Israelite as anyone. But that don't mean just with your bloodline. So if you're not from the so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, and people connected to that bloodline scattered abroad, then you are not an Israelite, and this ain't for you. It says, verse 6, it says, as the valleys are they spread forth, as garden by the riverside, as the trees of line aloes, which the Lord had planted, and as cedar trees beside the waters. Now you know cedar tree, that's high quality tree. Verse 7, it says, he shall pour the water out of his buckets, and his seed shall be in many waters, and his king shall be higher than Agag, and his kingdom shall be exalted. Oh, who's that figure is talking about? It says, verse 8 of Numbers chapter 24, and it says, Yahawah brought him forth out of Egypt. He hath, as it were, the strength of a unicorn. He shall eat up the nations, his enemies, and shall break their bones, and pierce them through with arrows. Verse 9, he laid down as a lion, and as a great lion. Who shall stir him up? Blessed is he that blesseth thee, and cursed is he that blesseth thee. So remember, what time was that verbiage used before? When Isaac was blessing Jacob, he said, he that blesseth thee shall be blessed, and he that curseth thee shall be cursed. Now, who's cursing Jacob the most right now? Esau Edom, his very own brother. Esau Edom's cursing him the most, afflicting him the most, oppressing him the most, murdering him the most. And you don't mean to think that these devils ain't gonna pay for it? Just because what they got the upper hand against Hamas? Remember, you still got to deal with Yahawashi. And you're probably already using a lot of your resources already and a lot of your money. Remember what would they say when it's an old saying, when you go to a strip club, don't spend it all on one dancer. You spending all your money on this one conflict. Now, granted, Amalek got money. Yes. But that money, it said they're spending $270 million a day on this war. And that was a couple weeks ago. And they still continuing. And you remember, who's their number one ally? America, who is also broke. And Israel's going broke, so they say. But I know there's a lot of money being spent. War is expensive. So obviously the Lord is doing this. Remember, Esau, you don't deserve no credit. The Lord said he works on the minds of the kings and he's mustering the battle. So you can't say you doing anything. That's what I titled what it was. You think you're going against Gaza, but it's really Yahawah BAHASHAM Yahawashi that's fighting against you. And the Lord said he's going to have war with Amalek from generation to generation. Bet that. And you at war right now, Amalek. And the whole world is asking you to stop at that. So this is Numbers chapter 24, verse 10. And it says, and Balak's anger was kindled against Balaam, and he smote his hands together. And Balak said unto Balaam, I called thee to curse mine enemies, and behold, thou hast altogether blessed them these 3 times. Now, that's another god, Balaam. I think I'm pronouncing it right. Balaam, or Balaam, whatever, in the book of Numbers. I believe he was a Moabite. I believe it says, I believe he was a Moabite. If my memory serves me correctly, I believe he was a Moabite. And so that was another nation, a Gentile. So it's already it's already free lunch for you. It's already currency for you. Like, that's what these people really don't understand, that there is a one true living God that has a chosen, and he shows favor to them. And no one could do nothing about that. They don't understand that. Because why? Yahawah hided himself. But he's about to not hide himself no more when he sends Yahawashi and the angels back. That's what the world doesn't understand. That's what this is all leading to. You know, in the movies, when all the countries are going to war and a great what's the word? A divine intervention happens. That's what's about to happen in real life, because Esau knows. Those directors and the movie producers, they know what's about to go down. This is Numbers chapter 24, verse 11. It says, therefore now flee thou to thy place, I thought to promote thee unto great honor, but lo, the Lord hath kept thee back from honor. Verse 12, and it says, and Balaam said unto Balak, spake I not also to thy messengers, which thou sendest unto me, saying, so Balak here, Balak was the other king, the other nation, saying, now this is verse 13 of Numbers chapter 24. It says, if Balak would give me his house full of silver and gold, I cannot go beyond the commandment of the Lord to do either good or bad of my own mind. But what the Lord said, that will I speak. So what we always got to go to, and that's always what the Lord is going to do anyway. You always speak according to what the Lord wants you to speak. But it's never to your own mind, because you might want to say something to a person, but the Lord has you say different in a time to be more circumspect or be more wise. Because we always want to just yell and just motherfucking say what we want, but we can't always say what we want as far as, like, you know, to let somebody have it. Sometimes you have to use a different word, and you have to use wisdom. Wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. Sometimes that's what your words. Remember, it says sometimes the tongue is sharper than a two-edged sword. Words have weight. This is verse 14. It says, and now behold, I go unto my people. Come therefore, and I will advertise thee what this people shall do to thy people in the latter days. And we're in what? The latter days. We're in the latter day. We're in the last days of Israel's captivity. We're in the last days of Esau running throughout the world free to do wickedness and not being judged for it. Since the time of Adam all up into the time of Yahawashi. And now still afflicting Yahawashi's people. His brothers, his sisters, his sons, his daughters, his family, his kinsmen and kinswomen, so-called Negroes, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Mexicans, Jamaicans, Haitians, so-called Native American Indians, Seminole Indians, Taino Indians, the West Indians, the ones scattered abroad. Those are the Lord's people. Those are the sons of God, the children of God. And he's coming back, and this is what he's going to do to the latter days. And he's telling this guy what his people is going to do unto thy people. It says verse 15, and he took up his parable and said, Balaam, the son of Beor, hath said, and the man whose eyes are open have said, verse 16, he hath said, which heard the words of Yahawah, and knew the knowledge of the Most High, which saw the vision of the Almighty falling into a trance, but having his eyes open. Right? This is the parable. Verse 17, it says, I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh. There shall come a star out of Jacob, and a sceptre shall rise out of Israel, and shall smite the corners of Moab. Because what? They think China got next. China is Moab. But this is what this guy is telling them. This is what's going to happen in the latter days, and we're very well in the latter days. So he said, he shall smite the corners of Moab and destroy all the children of Sheth. Verse 18, it says, and Edom shall be a possession. Seir also shall be a possession for his enemies, and Israel shall do valiantly. Who's Esau's main enemy? Us, Israel. And it says that star, and that star being Yahawashi, that's who the world called Jesus Christ is talking about, star coming out of Jacob, because he's the only one that fits this bill. He's going to smite the corners of Moab, and Edom shall be a possession, and Edom is who's ruling right now. And remember, Edom, and you got to go back all the way back to Isaac, when the term Edom was around, because you had that evil spirit. But let's talk about the actual nation Esau, because it says Edom. So that comes from Esau, the man Esau, Isaac's son. And remember, in the reincarnation, who was Isaac? That was the spirit that was in Yahawashi. And the spirit that was in Adam was also in Yahawashi. And that spirit that's in Esau was that spirit all the way back then. The seed, that seed of the son of perdition, the seed of the wicked. But now he's at his latter end, and he didn't consider his latter end. That's why these devils was acting the way they acted, because they didn't think that like life would change. They always thought it was going to be, hey, we're ruling, we're on top, hey, America. It's not like that anymore. And just like that, we go back all the way down to the Emek, all the way into the shit that happened with the Iranian person that was murdered, that was killed. around the same time when Kobe Bryant died. You add all this together, going all the way back to 1948, going back to the timeline. This goes all the way back to Genesis. What's playing out right now? It goes all the way back to Genesis. It's in there. Blessed, it's in there. All you need is the understanding or a man of understanding to show you. And it's up to the Lord whether you understand or not. Because the truth is out there. The information is out there. The proof is out there. It says, verse 19 of Numbers chapter 24, and it says, out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion, and shall destroy him that remaineth of the city. That's Yahawashi. And who's going to be right under there? The elect. The ones out there on the highways and byways sighing and crying right now as we speak. Whether it be out there on the highways and byways or on these smartphone devices, like so. It's about it, like it's no more time to. Now's the time to be bold with this, man. Because now it's no more moves for these devils to make. It's not so much more for scoffers to make. Because what are you going to scoff at now? Because not being that, if you're going to scoff in this time, that means you're just a degenerate. Because now you're actually going against proof that you're seeing. And that means that the Lord still has you blinded. Which means go over there. You go over there then. Remaining for the city. Now verse 20. Now this is Numbers chapter 24 verse 20. Ah, to you small hats. Ah, to you Amaleks. Amalekites. The grandsons of Esau. The grandson of Esau. The man Esau. This is to you. And you know, we can't stress enough that Amalek are those small hats over there. And those small hats that you see over here. Now whether they be of Israelite, scattered, that's whatever. But as far as face value goes, those people that you see with those the small hats and the black garments, look like Abe Lincolns, they call them, the Orthodox Jays, that's Amalek. And even the one that's not Orthodox, that's Amalek. Anybody that represents that, they could more likely be Amalek. Now, let's look what the Lord got to say about Amalek. Now, this is the book of Numbers, chapter 24, verse 20. And it reads, and when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable and said, now remember what he just read about the star coming out of Jacob, Edom being in possession, smiting the corners of Moab. Now who's two of the main powers in the news today? Esau and Moab. China, that area, the Asian, whatever, Pacific, whatever you call that. And Amalek, Esau, America, the small hats, the EU. Come on. It's all adding up. But he said when he looked on Amalek, now he mentioned Amalek, man. He said Edom up a couple of verses, but now he's saying Amalek, which is an actual tribe of Esau. Actually, you know what I'm saying? A tribe of Esau, like how he says Judah for Israel, or mentioned a tribe like Gad, Reuben, so on and so forth. He mentioned actually a duke of Edom, a tribe of Edom. It says, the Numbers 24 and 20, and when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever. His latter end shall be that he perish forever. The first of the nations, though, because right now he's still feeling that part. The first of the nations, yeah, I'm on top. I can do what I want. No one's going to tell us what to do. No one's going to stop us. And that's just the Lord. Remember, what did the Lord do to Pharaoh? Hardening his heart more and more. And that's what he's doing to Amalek as. Hardening his heart, building up his pride. Just so when the time comes, he's going to chop his ass down. And say, now sit to the ground. Starting with the daughter of Babylon, but all the nation of Edom, man. It says Edom is not the daughter of Babylon, but they rule in the daughter of Babylon. And the daughter of Babylon came around in Esau's kingdom. But Esau is in other parts of the world too. But this place known as America, this place is going to be utterly destroyed. But you still got Esau in other parts of the world. They got to get judged too. And what's their judgment going to be? Captivity. And when is that going to come? When we come back off those ships after the destruction. Lord willing, that's what I hope to be part of, man. Ain't shit else. What other thing is there to be part of for success? These jobs ain't shit. Fame ain't shit. This money ain't shit. Ain't nothing shit here in America to where it be like, yo, what's in the kingdom? You can't, like, no other nation, and I think I'm going to do a video on that. No other nation has experienced the kingdom that the nation of Israel is about to get. under Yahawashi, under Yahawah BAHASHAM Yahawashi. No other nation has experienced that love, that experience. That's another thing too, and that's a good segue. I'm gonna do a live show on that because that's something like, these other nations. You go to these places like Dubai and these other countries, it's real nice. They got gold. They got it's real decked out, but it can't compare to what Jacob is about to have under Yahawashi. Because when Yahawashi comes back to the earth, he's gonna deck us out, and we're gonna be decked out forever. That's the kingdom. That's what's about to happen. But the Lord got to chop these heathens down to size. He got to get them out the way. And you got a bunch of those heathens in our land. And right now, he's starting with Ishmael. Hey. Yep. Yeah, man, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever. But his latter end shall be that he perish forever. Which means you'll never be back. We'll never see you again. And the world won't miss you. The world won't miss you. You know what I'm saying? That's what's about to happen. So it ain't gonna be like, you can do what you do now. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom. You still got it. But we're here to tell you that it's running short and we're at the end of it. So, with that, Lord willing, this is edifying. We give all praises to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, BAHASHAM, Wakakadash. Double honor to the positive Israel, aka the positive great millstone, and peace and love to all the Akim. Continue to preach the truth and all truth and sincerity. Shalom.